They must be sold not by the hundreds, but by the millions at an affordable price. This is a challenge for large automakers, but to meet it, they must make big changes in what they sell.
The question is whether the car companies can shift from selling horsepower and start selling high fuel economy. We're starting to see that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2007 Chevrolet Volt concept.
Meet the Chevy Volt, a hot new contender in the green car sweepstakes. A car that's designed for a world without oil.
So, if your daily driving is 40 miles a day or less, and you charge the vehicle every night when you get home, you will never need to buy gasoline during the entire life of the vehicle.
Under the hood of the Chevy Volt is an electric motor that can be powered in several different ways. Lithium-ion batteries charged from the grid give it a driving range of 40 miles. Batteries can also be charged by a generator that burns ethanol or gasoline, extending the range another 600 miles. The motor can also be powered by hydrogen fuel cells. The Volt is a prototype built to promote the idea that affordable, practical cars can be powered from diverse energy sources. But it's not for sale yet. The problem is, batteries are not included.
So tell us, when's this going to happen? Or is it going to happen?
Both are good questions. I think General Motors would seriously like for a car like this to happen. The question is they don't have the battery technology yet to make it work. And because they don't have the battery technology, this is essentially an imaginary car. It's a very nice imaginary car, but it's an imaginary car.
How long the Volt will remain an imaginary car is unclear. GM says batteries must get cheaper, safer, and more reliable before the Volt becomes a reality.
If you can tell us without killing us. When can we expect to see this car?
We will be ready when that battery's ready. There's no question in my mind.
So 5 to 7 years.
But most importantly is when General Motors brings a product out like the Chevrolet Volt, it has to be a product that the battery will last 10 years. It'll be safe for the customers, and it'll meet all their needs. They don't want any compromises.
All right, Tony, tell us when it's coming out.
I think General Motors should be taken seriously. I think that if they build it, people will buy it. Plus the competition. Toyota, Honda will introduce plug-in hybrids, I have no doubt. So I think that there is much more reason to be optimistic now than in a very long time.
GM hopes to start producing the Volt by the end of the decade. But today it stands alone in a sea of beefy trucks and high-powered road machines. Will cars like the Volt ever replace them? Tom and Ray aren't so sure.
It's right next to the Ford Mustang with 550 horsepower.
Convertible, isn't that great? America's all about choice.
And
so if you want a Camaro?
No, but if we're about hugging trees,
500 horsepower? Who the hell needs 500 horsepower?
Obviously not you.
Why do you make such I mean, it's ridiculous.
You mean these popular vehicles that are on the floor?
These popular vehicles, 500 horsepower.
Well, here's a good question.
There's a little excitement, isn't it?
You're good, Beth.
Thanks a million.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Sorry for giving you a hard time.
It's okay. I'm used to it.
I'm sure. Thanks a lot.
After a century of making cars fueled by gasoline, how quickly can car makers change their course?
We've got to get alternative vehicles into our society as quickly as possible, because when shortages start to occur, we will have economic disruption like you cannot believe.
We can't wait. We have to reduce our emissions starting in the next few years. If we don't, we are going to find it virtually impossible to avoid catastrophic warming.
But is there too much at stake to be left in the hands of car makers and consumers?
We're not able to rely on individual decisions in the marketplace to solve the problem of climate change, to solve the problem of oil dependence. It takes collective action. It takes government action.
So asking a lot of the auto industry to force the change all on its own. It's not really their job.
If we decide we really wanted to reduce dependence on petroleum as a society, then we have to have the collective will to do so. And that includes making sure we have the right government policies in place, that we have the right vehicles in place, the right fuels, and the customers understand that that's really a priority.
But will customers buy these new kinds of cars if car makers build them? How willing are we to embrace change in something so fundamental to our lives?
Ultimately, as citizens and as consumers, we're responsible for the world we create. If we don't like the way it's turning out, let's change it.
Individual choices and actions matter. They really do, and it all adds up.
If we do embrace change, future generations may look back fondly on today's cars as dinosaurs from a bygone era, relics from the age of oil.
This is an achievable goal. It'll take time. We can't do it tomorrow. We can't do it even in 5 years. But every year that we work on it, the situation will get better.
So let me know, are you ready to move on and get something new? I mean, are you...
Well, I've seen a lot of very interesting technology, and I know what I want.
Really? What's that?
Yeah. I want you to turn that into a plug-in hybrid.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, sure. Well, let me see. We'll throw in some fuel cells, maybe. We'll throw some carbon fiber panels on it. Let's get out of here, will you? Ethanol tanks, fuel cells. What else do you want?
That'll do.
When do you want it?
How about tomorrow?
Sure, 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock is fine.
Works for me.
On Nova's website, examine extensive expert interviews, see a wide range of alternative vehicles, or download footage and interview clips to make your own video about the car of the future. Find it on pbs.org.